Pioneering the tire industry for over 20 years, GBS is excited to introduce our latest innovation resulting in drastic process improvement addressing your current issues. Tired of managing many SKUs or throwing labels away due to articles being discontinued or any art changes? The GBS full color print on demand solution solves all these problems, resulting in zero waste and managing one glossy tread label SKU while retaining advanced adhesion and remaining stain, scratch, and weather resistant. You deserve the best. We've got the best. Contact GBS. We're ready when you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brennan Lafferty, publisher of Rubber and Plastics News. Rubber and Plastics News is your organizer of ITEC, the International Tire Exhibition and Conference. Welcome to ITEC's Ask the Expert, our live stream series featuring the latest technology for the tire and rubber industry. With Ask the Expert, this is your chance to learn from professionals who are addressing the current business environment and discussing its latest developments. The entire library of Ask the Expert sessions are available on the virtual event site, itechvirtual.crane.com. Today, Ask the Expert will explore GBS tire tread labeling, the next generation of on-demand technology. And our experts today, Bruce Addison and John Lane, both senior account executives with GBS. Now, Bruce and John will answer some questions after their presentation. If you do have questions for Bruce and John, you can send them at any time. Send them to rpnevents@crane.com, or if you're watching the live stream on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, send those questions through those platforms. With that, I'll turn things over to Bruce Addison and John Lane at GBS. Gentlemen, take it away.
Great. Thank you very much. So, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. I want to first thank you for taking time out of your schedules to join us, especially on a Friday and especially on National Cheeseburger Day. So we truly appreciate your participation. And hopefully you'll find in the few minutes we have together that'll be very informative, as well as spark some additional thoughts and conversation. So our goal today is to share our exciting new and innovative solution around in-demand color printing, utilizing laser technology, which we specifically designed to support the tire industry application. So a solution that was designed with the express purpose to address the age-old challenge of how do I incorporate color in a mono or black and white imprint environment, or to help minimize the enormous amount of SKUs in a color pre-printed environment that you may work into. Next. So again, my name is John Lane, and I'm joined today by my longtime GBS colleague, Bruce Addison. In addition, we will also be joined by one of our technical partners in this solution, Duncan Griffith. Duncan is the VP of Global Sales for Neurolabels. So collectively, we probably have more years in the label industry that we would like to admit. But having said that, the years in the trenches, specifically in the tire label space, has allowed us to develop an appreciation for your challenges. This appreciation has been gathered via both success and through failure. But this firsthand knowledge has helped us to address and develop the solution that we are excited to share with you today. Next. So just real quick, GBS was established in 1971, and our headquarters is in Canton, Ohio, which just happens to be a few miles down the road from the rubber capital of the world. So thus, this is our historical interest and why we participate in supporting the tire industry and your challenges. Next. So let's just jump right in it. So leveraging the many years of tire labeling experience, and again, benefiting from all those trials and tribulations of how to label a tire, is really the foundational bedrock of our innovative solution that we're showing today. So we've taken the traditional tested tire label and we've wrapped technology around it to deliver your information effectively and in full color on demand. Next. So simply put, we believe it's the next transformational leap in the process of printing labels. So our solution is designed to support the growing desire to more effectively use color or to utilize product imagery or graphics and help support your operations, your production, potentially your distribution process, but for sure to support sales and marketing efforts. All without, one, adding increased numbers of pre-printed SKUs to purchase or manage if that's the environment you work in today. Or two, if you're in a pre-printed thermal transfer shell environment, now you can add color without potentially adding more versions of color printed thermal shells in smaller quantities invariably, but to support your marketing and your customer requirements. So we can now address that with our solution by just adding one blank label to your catalog. So we've developed this solution not necessarily to displace how you currently operate, either within a pre-printed or thermal transfer shell environment. Although I will point out it does have the bandwidth to support that. But instead, we developed this as a complementary or supportive technology to enhance or support your current operations as you may be struggling with how to cost effectively introduce more color or graphics to your labels. Next. So a 10,000-foot view, the value prop that we want you to take away today during our conversation is simple. One, reduce the SKUs that you have to manage. So anyone who's had the pleasure to manage a label room full of tire labels can appreciate the amount of time and cost that is associated with that. Freedom for design. So for any of our marketing folks on the line, complete freedom to add color, add messaging, or product segmentation to your heart's desire. Obviously, there's a value of elimination of obsolescence. Since labels can now be printed on demand and in limited quantities that you would like, you eliminate the minimum run requirements and the eventual obsolescence that comes from that. And then reduce complexity. So single label SKUs. So now you can manage by a size of blank label and not by the number of pre-printed SKUs or shells that will invariably need to change sooner or later. All within the ability of simple integration. So we wanted to mention this so we can reduce any tension of discussions between IT and engineering. Next. So the label solution itself starts with the label. It does not matter what you print on it or how you print it. If it does not perform, it stains or falls off, it really doesn't matter. So as we mentioned, the engineering and development behind this solution was based upon years of firsthand success. So this experience and solution, we definitely earned and just didn't go out and purchase it. So we developed the tire label component of this solution to not only solve the performance challenges, but one that can work within the print technology as well. So the blank consumable label that we developed specifically for our laser POD solution is stain proof, extremely important in the industry. The adhesive chemistry is proven and well tested in real life applications. Extremely durable, which we'll touch on here in a minute. And something that we're really excited about for the first time, it's a gloss finish. So this was a major accomplishment that we're really proud of in working on this solution. And you might have looked at other on-demand color solutions previously, like potentially inkjet. And we spent a long time working on that as well, trying to develop a gloss stock. Just couldn't achieve the success that we were looking for. But now that we have, so we're very proud to say that our color laser on-demand solution is on a very high gloss, attractive finish. So next. So now I'd like to hand it off over to my colleague Bruce to kind of talk about the tech side of the solution as well.
Thanks, John, for the overview of the label material. I would like to review with you the printer technology we have chosen to complete the print on demand solution. We've partnered with NeuroLabel, one of the premier leaders in the print industry for hardware today. The Sirius printer by NeuroLabel features include the ability to create full color on-demand labels. It will accept up to a 5-inch wide material, so we feel it covers just about every width we have typically seen in the tread labeling applications. It is extremely durable. In fact, it is so durable that it would easily pass any of the GHS chemical resistance testing. Bottom line, this label is not scratching, getting scuffed, or fading on your tires. If you're currently using thermal transfer printing, you will see that it works with both die cut or continuous label construction designs. The result is a high resolution color label printed at 6 inches per second. Next. If we look at the complete overview of the series printer, simply stated, it represents the latest in print technology, which gives you the ability to create and print the most durable color label in a print-on-demand process. It prints a high-quality label, and at 6 inches per second with a 1200 by 1200 DPI full color label. It has unprecedented durability of the image with the ability to withstand outside weather conditions and temperature without fading or rubbing off. Next. We have found there are times that the printing, being the ability to print a label or two for testing or supplying to your retailer for approval. This printer gives you the freedom to print color labels on demand at the exact quantity you require. Lastly, the printer is easy to use and integrate into your operations. Whether you're using an off-the-shelf software or programming directly from your mainframe, you will be able to control the series printer in either scenario. Next. In regards to integration, we have, with your IT resources within most companies stretched to capacity, we have partnered with an integration company called Barcom, so we can provide you with a turnkey solution. Barcom's resume starts with 25 years of experience in the tire industry, and we will provide the expertise necessary to seamlessly set up the printer and communicate and adapt to your current platform. Working with Barcom as our integration partner, we can assure you all the technical support and guarantee you the effective and ease of integration process and provide you with a worry-free turnkey solution. Next. That is our solution, and we provided our contact information on the last slide for you. We'd be happy to follow up with you directly to continue this dialogue as well as sending you printed samples. You'll be able to put them through the paces, and we are confident you will like what you see. At this time, we feel free to ask any questions you may have thought of and would like to learn more.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you, Bruce. Thank you, John. You know what, before we get started with questions, let's bring another guest to the presentation. We welcome Duncan Griffiths. There he is. Duncan is Vice President of Global Sales, as John said earlier. Duncan is with Neuralabel. And for a reminder for our viewers out there, you can submit questions multiple ways through email. Send it to rpnevents@crane.com or send it through the social media platform that you are viewing this on. All right, gentlemen, let's take the first question here. What impact has been discovered when talking to other tire OEMs about this solution?
That's a great question. Through our experience working directly with some of the major tire manufacturers, they have noticed significant improvements in many areas from managing of inventory labels by reducing SKUs to cost reductions resulting from process improvements and eliminating the hands-on required to maintain your label inventory. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that's great. John, anything to add to that?
No, I mean, it's just the value of the quantity when you need it and just the amount that you need just reduces complexity, increases flexibility, and I think really supports, getting closer to the end user, your customer, and product segmentations.
Yeah, that's great. So here's a question that came in through email. Does this solution have flexibility to work as a supplement with a pre-printed environment?
Yeah, I'll address it. Absolutely. So we, designed it to be a complementary solution, although it could replace an entire pre-printed environment, but it could be there just to fulfill the gaps of the smaller runs or when you just don't have time to go through the whole print process to create a bunch of labels. This allows you that flexibility to jump right in, add variability to your labels, in new designs that you want to test, and send them right out.
Makes sense. So, gentlemen, I think the answer to this is simply yes, but the question has come in. Have these labels been tested in real world environments as well as in the laboratory?
Yes, to answer your question, as you said, we've actually consulted a third-party independent lab to document our quality to make sure that we have the best adhesion and performance of a label. Not only have we had proven that, but we've also had a 15-year experience with supplying directly to two of the major tire manufacturers out there and passing all their test requirements in real world as well.
Right. Yeah, so we're very confident in the actual performance of the labels. Duncan could probably talk more about, how well the durability of the print itself and the printers.
Yeah. Well, Duncan, any thoughts on that?
Well, I know we certainly, we've had this printer in test, and with the particular client that we're working with, I know those labels that we printed have been placed onto the tires. They've been transported to the warehouse, and they've been subjected to all the temperatures that they need to work in. So we feel confident that the solution works very well.
Very good. Well, anyone running a business today, whether you're the owner or responsible for a particular division, you're charged with making more money or saving some money. Let's talk a little bit about the savings portion. What savings come from a process improvement like this?
Well, what we have seen and our experience with working with the manufacturers of managing the inventory, the cost of managing that is such a hands-on experience. And when you have 12 to up to 2,400 different SKUs and counting and keeping track and the ordering process is a significant number, well into the six figures that we've seen some companies have experienced that type of savings.
Okay, well that makes a big difference. There's in the presentation you talked about the marketing department. Do you find that these laser print options are more attractive to the marketing department within your customer base, or are they more something that will be purchased by someone responsible for the factory floor?
Mm-hmm. Well, traditionally it's been operations and purchasing, with the label, especially in a pre-printed or a thermal transfer environment. But for the first time, I think through this solution, it really allows marketing to get engaged, maybe utilize their budgets to help operations, because now the messaging could be specific for a region or for a segment, for a target, and really not cause chaos in the manufacturing operation like it would in the past with a bunch of pre-printed, or quite frankly, the ability for marketing to add graphic imagery of the tire itself on the label just wasn't available. So that's what we're exciting is what technology allows you to do today that you couldn't do yesterday. And that's why we're excited about this solution.
Yeah, and you can see through all those different examples you illustrated, these really pop, whether it's, just the different colors or the real detail that you could see on the tires that you're illustrating there. Yeah,
and that's what we're really excited about, the gloss finish, knowing that's been traditionally very important to our clients. And that's what kind of impeded some previous on-demand color solutions we were looking at. We just couldn't get that gloss finish that had the durability. But working with Duncan and his group, that printer is just fabulous for this solution, and we've matched the label with the right print technology.
Yeah.
If I could add there, one of the other things to take into account here as well is because you're printing on demand, you can actually change label design on the fly and immediately get that new label out onto the floor instead of having to wait for pre-printed labels to come in-house.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and John, to your point, yeah, it doesn't do you any good if you have this lovely label that 12 hours later is just a smeared mess, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So this label will last probably better than any pre-printed label with the durability. And again, if it can pass the GHS 5609 certifications, it can pass any tire label environment that it could be subjected to.
Wonderful. Well, another question: Are there other options for POD?
There are. I mean, actually, thermal transfers POD. It's just monochrome.
Yeah.
And again, we've looked at other inkjet technologies, and I know some of our clients have tested those as well, and we've all kind of came to the same end of the road as limitations for those. So that's why we're really excited about with Duncan's laser printers. It can do things now that we just couldn't do before, and really not interrupt your operational, what you do today.
Right. There's in your presentation you talked about, I think, 30,000 clients worldwide. How are you supporting your customers during the crisis today? Are you able to travel, or is a lot of it, like a lot of us, are we talking, interacting through Zoom and of course email and phone and things like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of us had to adapt, right? Now within those client base, we are a heavy technology organization as well, extremely integrated in the healthcare. So our solutions are rooted around technology, so we're very comfortable bringing technology to our traditional printed world. But obviously, we've all learned to do events like this. And quite frankly, maybe you've discovered we don't have to jump in airplanes as much as we thought we needed to. Although, like any of us, we probably do miss, I know I definitely miss being in the manufacturing environment to support our customers, right there standing next to them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know personally I've only been in a couple plants in the last 6 months, and that's a big change.
Right.
Well, Bruce, I think you talked a little bit about the speed at which these labels can print. Can you talk a little bit more about that? And is there a time frame for how long you can keep up with that type of pace?
Yeah, the printer is at 6 inches per second, which should normally handle most production times and speeds, particularly within the tire industry, due to the fact that tires are not coming down at breakneck speed. So that being said, we've put these printers in a real live production scenario, and they've kept up easily with the times and speeds of the tires coming down to print the labels and manage to apply them to the tire. And I'd be happy for Duncan to expound on that as well.
No, like you said, Bruce, we have had it in the plants, and we've run it in real time, and I can only just say what you just said. We were able to keep up without any issues whatsoever. So,
yeah, that's fair. Well, we've spent so much time talking about the real advantage of the the durability and the colors on the front of the label. I don't know if this is a question for Duncan or one of the other gentlemen. Can we talk about the backside, the adherence? It was mentioned, in passing in the presentation. Can anyone talk a little bit about that?
Sure. That's the easy part of the solution, because that's just taking what we have tried and true that works, whether it's vented tires or non-vented, wide range of this, but we've engineered this adhesive specifically for this. So that was the easy part. The hard part of a color POD was getting the face stock and the print technology to be able to work in concert together. So we have no concern about the adhesion at all. And now we have no concern about the front end printing as well.
Hey, let me add that we cut our teeth on the vented tires with the little porcupines that stick up. They constantly put pressure on the label to lift up, and that was probably one of our biggest achievements, was to design an adhesive that would overcome that application and brought us to the forefront of labeling technology in the thread industry.
Great. Here's a question that came in about maintenance. Is there a recommended maintenance plan for these printers printing these types of labels?
Duncan, I'll let you field that one.
Well, the actual printer itself, the Sirius printer, is a true industrial grade printer, and it's designed to print millions of labels. And for those of you trying to rationalize that amount of labels, then if you're printing somewhere in the order of about 4,000 labels a day, then 5 days a week, that would equate to about 1 million labels a day, labels a year. And the good thing to note with toner-based solutions is that when you change out the consumables on a routine basis, you're actually servicing the printer at the same time, since most of the moving parts and wear items are actually built into the consumables themselves. And so as you're changing the consumables, you're servicing the printers, but you can also go through some simple maintenance on a weekly basis. And that's just basically cleaning some of the guides and everything with some isopropyl alcohol and some lint-free wipes. And that's all that's required to keep the printer running without any problems.
Mm-hmm. All right, sounds very simple, straightforward. So gentlemen, we have a global audience for iTech, heavily in North America, but we have viewers, and when we're in person, we have visitors from Europe as well as Asia. I assume, this solution is available worldwide. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, let me address that, because we've had one of the manufacturers of tires that struggled with the fact that they were actually shipping labels over to Europe, and trying to support a situation where there's shipping that many labels when you got so many SKUs. They're shipping multiple designs and such, and having the need to have those labels right then. Having this printer set up globally, it will eliminate the need for shipping these labels and costly overnight charges and the time delay that you may experience if you're using pre-printed labels and having to ship across a global situation. So yeah, but these printers are supported globally with the service steps and necessary to ensure that they hold up as well as maintained, along with eliminating the inventory management of shipping many SKUs across the globe.
Yeah, Bruce, I think that's a great point. Yeah, we talked about cost savings earlier in the program. That's another great example. Yeah, without all those shipping costs, my goodness. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I think that is all the time we have for questions. But I'll let you have the final word here. Any final thoughts or parting words for our viewers out there today?
Yeah, again, thank you for allowing us to be on your laptop or computer, wherever you are in the world today. And we're excited about this and would love to send you samples of the labels so you can, as they say, kick the tire on it. So please reach out to our contact information, and we will hurry up and expedite you some samples that you can touch, feel, and show your friends and neighbors.
Wonderful. Well, Bruce, John, Duncan, thank you for sharing your insights today. As John said, if you want to reach out to these gentlemen directly, use the email address on your screen. My thanks to our experts, Bruce Addison and John Lane, who is the Vice President at GBS, as well as Duncan Griffiths at Neuralab. My thanks to you for joining us today at iTech's Ask the Expert. For more conference sessions like this, visit itechvirtual.crane.com. I'm Brennan Lafferty. Thanks for watching iTech's Ask the Expert, organized by Rubber and Plastics News. Stay tuned for a parting message from GBS.
Pioneering the tire industry for over 20 years, GBS is excited to introduce our latest innovation resulting in drastic process improvement addressing your current issues. Tired of managing many SKUs or throwing labels away due to articles being discontinued or any art changes? The GBS full color print on demand solution solves all these problems, resulting in zero waste and managing one glossy tread label SKU while retaining advanced adhesion and remaining stain, scratch, and weather resistant. You deserve the best. We've got the best. Contact GBS. We're ready when you are.